Hi. In this section, let's discuss routing. ASP.NET Core Routing is responsible for mapping incoming browser requests to particular MVC controller actions. nopCommerce has the iRoute provider interface used for route registration during application startup. All core routes are registered in the route provider and generic URL route provider classes located in the nop web project and implementing this interface. So, what is the difference between these two classes? They actually register two different types of routes. The route provider class operates with static routes for pages like homepage, login, customer info, etc. Each record here has a name, a certain URL pattern, a controller in action to be executed if a requested URL matches the pattern. The generic URL route provider class, in turn, registers generic routes for such pages as product, category, blog post pages. These pages have unique search engine page names. For example, let's open any product details page. Instead of such a URL as yourstore.com/product/15, it has a beautiful SEO-friendly URL set up on the product details page in the admin area. These URL have a beneficial effect on the site's search engine optimization, which is why we use them. But to relate such a URL to a certain page, we need to find a corresponding URL record in the database. We do this using the slug route transformer class. This class implements the transform method where we find the needed URL record based on the search engine page name. And in the end, we return the usual route values, such as controller name, action name, and entity ID. Both these route types consider a language name in a URL if the appropriate setting is activated. This allows using a language prefix in the URL. Each route provider class has the priority property, allowing to override routes. Yes, you can override any existing route or add a new one by creating a new class implementing the iRoute provider interface. We will see how to create a new route later, when we add new pages. The last thing I want to mention is that entities supporting SEO-friendly URL, aka slugs, should implement the iSlug-supported interface. For example, the product entity. A service that operates with SEO-friendly URL is called URL Record Service. It allows you to insert, update, delete, and get URL records. Note that when you apply a new page name to an entity, the previous one won't be deleted. It just becomes inactive. I would also note that to optimize performance, you can load all search engine-friendly names on startup. Just turn on the appropriate setting on the General Settings page, the Localization section. We recommend using this setting if you don't have an extensive catalog with several thousand entities.